What's going on, Cowboy Faithful? It's your boy DMV back with another one. I just want to wish everybody, like I did last night, a Merry Christmas. A blessed one. You know what I'm saying? Like many blessings, right? Um, I wanted to do this video as a way to comfort the fan base a day after losing to the Miami Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? We're going through the gauntlet of the schedule, and like many people said, we find out what this team is really made of during this stretch. And unfortunately it has gone the other way where we really, well, no, it hasn't. We know who we are. We're a team that can't play on the road. We're a team that struggles on the road. And unfortunately, the way that things are looking, it looks like we're going to be on the road for the playoffs, right? That's what it looks like. Looks like we're going to be on the road, and it looks like we're going to have to show some things that we haven't shown all year. But there is silver lining behind all this, right? You know, behind all the negative, there is some positivity, right? Before anybody could prove who they really were, they had to go out there and do it. And in order to go out there and do it, you got to have the opportunity. You have to have the opportunity to go out there and prove that you have championship DNA. Nobody has championship DNA until they win a championship. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter how much we look at San Francisco doesn't have championship DNA yet either until they prove that they can win, that they can get over the hump and win the championship. So when I say the Cowboys have zero championship DNA, it means that the people that are playing, for the most part, because the coaches have it. You know what I'm saying? Dan Quinn has won as a defensive coordinator. Mike McCarthy has won as a head coach. But if you look around in that locker room, there's not many players that I would say have championship DNA. I think Stephon Gilmore has championship DNA. I believe he won one. I think he's been through it. I know that Brandon Cooks had been the one. I don't know if he won one. I know he had been around championship DNA, but I don't know that he has it. Yesterday, with that catch at the end, he showed that he had it. But besides that point, when things get tough, like hell, Micah don't even have championship DNA right now. And you want to learn throughout the regular season. You want to take your failures through the regular season. You want to, find ways to overcome in the regular season. That's what the regular season is for. And while we have clinched, we're still figuring out things. But as it stands right now, we have not shown anything to say we are ready to go over that hump. And I would have liked to have known that like around this time. I think a win yesterday would have solidified the fact that I think you can do it. This team is going to go into the playoffs not sure if they can do it. And that right there is a negative to me. But the opportunity in itself is where there's a positive. Dak Prescott to me showed yesterday that he had a lot of fortitude. He had enough fortitude. Dak overcame a bad offensive line. He overcame bad coaching, and he almost did it. You know what I'm saying? Like we really drove down there, and it should have been a game-winning drive. That should have been what solidified him as your favorite to win the MVP. Now I think that the coaching on both sides of the ball failed him yesterday. I think that the offensive line failed him. I think Tyron Smith has failed him time and time again. That's one thing people haven't talked about. We haven't talked about Tyron Smith just letting us down. You know what I'm saying? Like, we haven't talked about the fact that they refuse to move on without Tyron Smith. This is just what you're going to get at this point. Tyron Smith is going to be out when you need him. And when he does come back, he's going to be a shell of himself. That's just what he does. That's what he's done his whole career. Zero championship DNA. Zero. And at this point, I'm tired of taking up for Tyron. Tyron is who Tyron is. All right? That's who he is. You know what I'm saying? Not good enough. Great player. Possibly Hall of Fame player. But this is what he does at the times that are most critical. He's either just coming back and is a shell of himself, or he's not around at all. And that's why we have a Chuma playing. The running back situation. Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard don't have championship DNA. That game was on a silver platter for Tony Pollard to take over yesterday. And he proved that we were wrong picking him. We were wrong. Until he can change it. You know what I'm saying? All of these guys can change that narrative. But I gotta call it how I see it as it stands today. Doesn't mean I'm fair weather. Doesn't mean that I'm not gonna that I'm not gonna watch each game, hoping that my Cowboys can overcome, believing that they can overcome. Doesn't mean that at all. It means that they have not shown me that. It's hard for me to believe something that they have not shown me. You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, it's just wishes. You know, it's just wishes at this point. Guys have got to get better. No excuses. They have got to play better. I don't care what relationships you guys have with these players. I don't care if they're likable in the community, this and that. On that football field, they have to get better, and they have to get better on the road because that's where we're gonna have to make a run if we're gonna make a run. It's gonna have to be on the road. Philadelphia is more than likely going to wrap up the division, but even if they don't wrap up the division and we somehow win it, at some point you're going to have to go to San Francisco. At some point, yeah, you're going to, or you might have to go to Detroit because at this point Detroit is ahead of you. If you got to get to where you got to get to, you're going to have to get something done in a place that's foreign, and you're not going to have the officiating. You're not going to have the crowd. You're not going to have crowd noise to make sure that you can motion. You're going to have to figure out how to get it done. That's it. Stop crying. Here, Micah crying about the officials. Get it done, bro. Stop crying. Get it done. You haven't proved nothing. You haven't earned the right to get those calls yet. Am I a person that believes you are generational talent? Absolutely. But earn the calls, bro. Y'all go out there and y'all get the job done. Stop crying about getting held. Stop crying about all that stuff and just go get it done. It's just that simple. Go get it done. Shut the hell up. Go get it done. That's it. I know that there are going to be people saying it's easier said than done. You're talking to somebody who has never had the benefit of referees in my whole life. I got some championships under my belt, but I'm just saying, championships in spite of that, in spite of the officiating, in spite of your league not wanting you to win. If you're in the right spot, if you're playing fast enough, if you're playing confident enough as a team, because I'm not saying that Micah isn't playing that way, but his teammates, some of his teammates ain't built from that cloth. Call it what it is. But at a certain point, you got to stop wanting to get pumped. We got Detroit and we got Washington to clean some things up. Detroit, that's a playoff team. That's another chance but it's at home. But you still take care of business. Take care of business for Jimmy Johnson, and maybe the curse will be lifted. Maybe we're still under the curse. I don't know. Unlift the curse. Then go to Washington and take care of Washington at Washington because last year they whooped your ass right before the playoffs. Go out there, take care of that, and then know the next week you're probably going to be playing. But all you can do is take care of the opportunities that are in front of you, and that's what this team is going to have to do. Brick by brick, baby. Brick by brick. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Have a Merry Christmas. Love you all. Peace.